Now, your kid's touching a light socket or something, you're going to tap their hand like, no, no, no. That's fine. But, like,
But you have to be
smacking some kid
careful.
in the
But you
face?
have to be careful, like you said earlier, when you're taking things away and you're disciplining your kids in that manner, or when you're, maybe giving them a tap on the hand because they did something wrong. They need to understand why.
Right.
My niece was famous at one point for saying, if you would tell her something, well, why, Auntie? Why does that happen, or why is it like that? And I can vaguely remember, but my mom, her first thing would be, because I said so.
So,
And that is not an explanation for a child.
you're like,
And being someone who was in that predicament, wondering after mom said so is, well, why did you say so? But I'd not dare ask her why she said something, because where I come from in those days, you do not ask grown
why?
people questions.
Because that's going to warrant another butt whooping, right?
Exactly. And, I know my mom put the fear in us. And no, there was no way I was going to answer a question. But I try when kids ask me, nieces, nephews, friends, kids, when they ask me why, I try to explain to them why. Because I don't want them to leave away without having an understanding of why I told them no about something.
Yeah,
Or,
they should
why I
understand.
tell them yes, or what have you. I want them to have an understanding. That way, because if a kid doesn't get the answer that they're looking for from you, that does not mean that they're going to stop seeking it. They're going to go out and they're going to get the answer.
And it may not be the right one.
Right. It may not be about something petty, as it is between you and that kid, but as time progresses and as they become young adults, that's how, they find out things that they shouldn't find out, or they learn the wrong thing.
And I think when you discipline them and you do it out of love and you learn how to communicate with them, when they go out into the world and they start to do something wrong, they might think about that one time, like, oh, that one time I think about that one time I got spanked. That's what they were trying to say. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I shouldn't do this. So it kind of teaches, like Ricky Lake was saying, it teaches them to discipline themselves in different situations, because it's all about self-discipline. Self-discipline is something that you learn very early on, but it helps when your parents are the one instilling that in you instead of letting you run amok and not knowing when to stop. Because you see some kids who will do something and look at their parents like, I know it's wrong. What you gonna say about it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they already know that their parent is gonna tell them something about it. But I thought it was kind of funny. We'll read a couple more of our the feedback that we have, but I thought it was pretty interesting that 4 out of 5 said that they believed in spanking, but they did say that there was a fine line between punishment, abuse, spanking. This really is a fine line. Like I said,
Definitely so.
I've seen people punch their kids. I mean, have you ever seen that? I've seen.
I'm sure I probably have. I can't recollect at the moment, but I'm sure I've witnessed some abuse a time or two.
It's one of those.
I may have even been abused myself if I think about it.
You might have got punched. You might have been punched. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I'll read another one of our readers said. She said, "I spank my girls if they deserve it. However, I will not spank them while I'm pissed off. Discipline should never be emotion based. It should not be done to make the parent feel better. I don't want to hit them because I am mad, but rather because they need to be taught a lesson. I will also never slap them in the face because I feel it is more disrespectful. I know that they are only young kids, but I love them and I do respect them as well. Sometimes a good whooping is in order, but usually with my girls, it does get to that. They are fearful of the act of spanking before they even get to it. So most of the time, I don't have to. I definitely believe in discipline, but there is a right and a wrong way. It is lined in the Bible. She said, discipline done with love is intended to raise your child with righteousness, not abuse. And she says to refer to Proverbs in the Bible. Yeah, I think that it is righteousness, not abuse.
Mm-hmm.
To tell some kids, don't do that. I think some kids, like I said, some kids you're like, somebody need to go and get the switch, go back to the old days, go get the
Mm-hmm.
switch and spank your kids. I might have needed to be switched a little bit because I'm kind of outspoken and, I was growing up, I was lacking a little self-discipline. But I'm saying it might be because I didn't really get disciplined. I
You should have
really
hung
didn't.
around. You should have hung around Mama dear.
I
She
should
did
have
not play that.
I should have hung out with you, huh? I didn't really get disciplined. I don't remember, getting on punishment and things like that. And not to say that I could say I think that personally it does affect you in a certain way. I know as you get older, of course, you make your own choices and you can't be blaming things on the past and things, but it does shape who you are.
I don't really recall being on punishment. It wasn't much that you could take away from us, but I think that's probably why we received the whippings and the being in trouble or whatever. You can't go here. You can't go play with so and so today because I mean we we scrounged for things to do when I was growing up. I mean we would go outside with some leaves and some sticks and say we were playing kitchen. So
everything.
Unless she gonna take away the dirt of the
I was making
trees.
wood, box Barbie houses. I was doing everything to find something to do. So yeah, like you said, there wasn't
Mhm.
much to take away from me either. I'd probably be like, so what? You took my box away. I don't really care.
I get another one next
Yeah,
week.
I get another
Yeah.
one. I don't have a problem with that. But back to the subject. I mean, it really is a fine line. I don't know. I really want to hear you guys' feedback though. So I hope that you'll give us some more feedback. I'll go ahead and let Simone read one more.
Um, I think it's discipline, but it's questionable to to if it really works. Some kids you can beat until they can't sit down, but it won't do anything. Other kids will be scared straight to see you coming with the spanking spoon, belt, extension cord, etc. Also, age appropriateness is an issue. No sense in spanking a child if they have no idea and why they're getting hit. I agree. And the parent's state of mind is also a concern. Do you spank when you're mad or after you've calmed down? I myself spanked the oldest, but found that it really isn't in the best form of discipline for her. So I've changed tactics and I've gotten the results I wanted. Just my 2 cents is what she's saying. I
I agree.
agree. I definitely don't think it's worth spanking a child if they don't understand where you're coming from, or you can't explain to them, why you're doing something. That's the incident with the 2-year-old at the grocery store. This child probably didn't even really understand why
And you
he or
can't even
she
explain it
was
to a 2 year
being
old.
exactly. Again, start off when they're young, trying to teach them right from wrong, good from bad. I want to say something that I know everybody has heard a time or two, but if you extend the rod, you spare the child. And that's just basically saying there's nothing wrong with disciplining your disciplinary actions towards your kids, but you definitely want to make sure you're doing it with love. Therefore, your kid can understand what's going on, why this action is being taken, and they can walk away knowing my mom or my dad cares about me enough to show me the right and the wrong things.
And I don't think that people should be. I know a lot of people say are told, and there's a fine line of what they can really, how they can really discipline their kid. I don't really think that they should be told that. But at the same time, I do feel that there is a reason why we have the CPS, and there's good reason why they should always remain, because there are kids who are abused, and that abuse, could really affect mental. I know I've met people that have been abused, and their mental is just, even when we get older, it's just the
Mm-hmm.
same. And it's just like you always think, oh, poor. They always kind of get that poor little chink chink. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, they were abused, but maybe if somebody would have called the CPS, maybe they would have been in a better environment. Who knows? You know.
So I think we're going to close out there. If we have any further discussion about this particular topic, go ahead and feel free to post it on our blog. Um, Simone and Shimei, we both have our own spots on Facebook in which you can post these questions, these concerns. If this is a topic that we need to pick up and maybe elaborate on at a later time, we can definitely do that. I think it's very interesting, and I think that you guys have a lot to say about this. I know from the just the responses that we
We
got
got
on it.
paragraph responses.
I mean, definitely. So this is an issue, and we need to, address it. So at this time, we're gonna direct you to go to our
Our
Facebook.
Facebook, which is facebook.com, the word cause, the letter N, the letter A, and the word stir. Please go under our notes section. You can post comments about the show that we're doing right now. You can do topic suggestions, or if you want to be a guest, if you feel like you're so interesting and you can come on our show and bring something to it, we are more than willing to have you. So please go ahead and let us know and send us a message, and we look forward to seeing you next week on our show.